Guys, this is Moshe coming to you from Israel and Galilee, where I live. This will be the evening wrap up on the war. We're getting sporadic um, missile alerts from Gaza that are, you know, a few, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3 missiles at a time. It's nothing like the barrages anymore. Israel has 50 jets bombing targets in Gaza. Gaza does not look the same. It looks like a ruinous heap. It's not, Damascus, but it looks like a ruinous heap now already. And it's on fire. Gaza's burning. And the Gaza Fire Department is not much of anything, okay? Um, they did manage to kidnap 5 more Israeli citizens. There's still a bunch of these Hamas special forces, they call them, terrorists, running around Israel. The military is still fighting in the south to get control of the various areas. There were 20 areas, and they had 15 breaches or holes in the fence. So more have been coming in. We've moved more and more heavy armor down to the border, and I think we've stopped the leakage of more terrorists coming in for the most part, although there still might be a little bit happening. I don't know for sure. The military is trying its best. We have been victorious in attacking some areas where the Hamas people were barricaded with hostages, where we've neutralized the terrorists and got the hostages out safely. There's a negotiation taking place right now where it's unclear, but Hamas will send the elderly. Shut up! I'm sorry, I got my dogs. Shut up now! Shut up! That where they'll send the women and the elderly and children. It's hard to understand exactly what some of the hostages, definitely the elderly and the injured and the sick, over to Egypt. And from Egypt, we'll get them to Israel. Shut up now! Shut up! Sorry. They're trying to protect the house, From what? Cars, buses, that kind of thing. So, shut up, I said! Get over here! Get over here! So, I may have to redo this video if this keeps up. All right. Mommy, shut up! So anyway, let's try to make the best of it. They're not going to shut up. So the aircraft... You guys, get over here now. Come home. Now. Now. Get over here. You shut up. Beulah, get over here. Sit down. Shut up. Sit down. Sit. Come here, sit. Sit. Sorry. I'll try again. So, the aircraft carrier group coming over here is a massive aircraft carrier, Gerald Ford. It probably holds about 90 planes at full capacity. It may just run around with 60, 70, 80, but it can handle 90. And it's coming with 6 escort vessels, which are destroyers and missile cruisers. Now, this is about 7,000 or 8,000 personnel on the ships, and these escort vessels are able to shoot missiles, Tomahawks typically, and those are 500-pound warheads. They're massive damage. Okay, they're very sophisticated explosives, and they're smart missiles. And they usually have 16 tubes on a ship. That's 16 missiles, and they got backup typically of 64. But let's assume that it's just a total of 64, because I'm unsure if that counts the initial missiles and the tubes. So what you've got is about 700 missiles from the flotilla. Okay? And that's, Mommy, shut up! And that's a lot of missiles. And will they need to use those on Gaza? Probably not. We're capable of dealing with Gaza. But Hezbollah has over 100,000, could be 150,000 missiles and rockets. And they can cause a pretty decent destruction. Stop it. Sit down. They can cause a pretty decent destruction in Israel. In Lebanon, well, yeah, Lebanon could cause a pretty decent destruction in Israel by shooting those into Haifa, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, etc. It could be pretty. Sit down. It could be pretty. Sit. Beulah, sit. Good. It could be a pretty devastating thing for Israel. So we would have to probably basically carpet bomb them and carpet missile attack them and stuff like that, and artillery and everything else to shut it down as quick as possible. And we would probably have to invade very quickly. Now we have our tanks and armor on their border, but you got to understand, these people are insane. Okay, they're insane. They took Israeli children that they abducted as hostages, and they put them in animal cages, 2 in a cage. I have them on my Telegram site, pictures of this. Okay. And they distribute it on social media. These are, I mean, Hitler never went this far when he invaded a country. He didn't go that far. He went far in the concentration camps, but they were like equivalent to Hitler. You know, and you could also go back and say the Romans, Attila the Hun, and other great lunatics in history, you know. Now, they're threatening America. Hezbollah is telling America, you're not scaring us with your aircraft carrier group. In one afternoon, that aircraft carrier group could turn Lebanon into the Dark Ages, like the 1300s, in one afternoon. They're lunatics. You know, they're not normal. Okay? Now, they went further to threaten America. They explained that we have Iraqi militia militants, you know, that are aligned, you know, they're proxies of Iran or puppets of Iran, and they will vehemently attack every American position in Iraq and Syria, because America has bases in Iraq and Syria that it's using for various fighting in Syria. Stop it. And they're already being attacked by these Iraqi militants with missiles and mortars and whatever they can do. So they say, oh, we'll really attack your positions. You know how stupid that sounds? They'll just launch jets from the Mediterranean and bomb these Iraqi militias into Kingdom Come. They'll be obliterated. I mean, they're crazy. They don't know what to do. So not only is that happening, America is, in the coming hours, going to announce the military aid that they're giving Israel, and they already launched one C-17 jumbo cargo jet. It's already launched, I understand, coming to Israel with military equipment. So I don't know how many more jets are going to follow, but they said that the delivery will be quick in the coming days. Now, the things that you might see happening here is America could have just lost its patience with Iran, who's backing Hamas and Hezbollah. Hezbollah is in Syria and they're in Lebanon. And they're also backing the Houthi rebels in Yemen. And the UAE and the Saudis, which used to be good friends of America, switched over to Russia and Iran, basically, and BRICS and stuff like that, to stay out of the way of Iran. So America's got a lot of vested interest in shutting Iran off. Iran has mutual defense treaties with China and Russia. So this thing has tremendous implications to go. Now, sending an aircraft carrier group of this size to Israel to deal with Lebanon is like going out and shooting rats with a 50 caliber machine gun. Okay, it's overkill. So there's probably a little bit more to this. Now, not only are they doing this, they're also beefing up in the region. They didn't say where. F-35s, F-16s, I think F-15s, and the A-10s. And I don't know where they're going to put them. They possibly could put them on the NATO base that Turkey has, but I don't think they would chance that. They could, but I don't think so. Of course, Turkey changes their mind about things pretty regularly without notice, so they might put it in Jordan, but I don't think Jordan's going to let it happen. Egypt's not going to let it happen. So they're probably going to put the jets in inside Israel. Now, they're also mobilizing the American army inside of Israel to help with evacuations of American citizens if it happens. Now, we got, I would guess, at least 250,000 people in Israel that are American and Israeli citizens. Some of the hostages are American citizens, and the Biden administration is quite peeved about that. In other words, they're dual nationals. They're Israelis and they're also Americans. I mean, you bang into American citizens here like all over the place that are also Israeli. It's common. There's so many. It might be 300,000 or 400,000 of us here. I don't know. Sit, Beulah, sit. So the evacuation, you don't send an aircraft carrier group here or an army to evacuate the embassy and the consulate, because all they got to do is bring 1 or 2 jets over to the Ben Gurion airport and load them up and get them out. And they could have done that yesterday, today, tomorrow. They're not doing that yet. So Hezbollah and the other militants and Hamas too in Gaza are threatening the United States about doing this. If you bring your fleet over here, what we're going to do to you. Meanwhile, these insane people, and I mean they are insane, Gaza's burning. It's burning. It looks like Dresden at the end of World War II. I mean, I've got pictures on my Telegram. If you want to get a lot of good news updates with videos and pictures and stuff, it's on my Telegram. Telegram's free. The app is called Telegram Messenger. That's also free. Everything is free. My email address is in the description box on the bottom line. It's Israel Giving, one word with the digit 7. IsraelGiving7@gmail.com. Israel is spelled A-E, not E-A, A-E. Israel Giving with the number 7@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link, and you got to download the app, and then you're in. That's it. It's free, and there's nothing with nothing. And in these war times, I'm updating it, I would say 25, 30 times a day. So you'll have everything, And I'm very careful what I put up. And I translate social media from Gaza in Arabic and from Iran in Farsi and other Arab sources. I translate into English and I put it up. And I translate social media from Hebrew into English and I put that up as well. So you'll have a real deep understanding of what's going on. Okay. Now, what else is going on? This flotilla could be a joint attack on Iran with Israel. All they got to do is put um, get tanker jets into play. Israel has a few. America has tons of them. They just move a few over here to refuel the jets on the way to Iran. They don't like putting aircraft carrier groups in the Persian Gulf because Iran has more than 1,500 go-fast boats which shoot torpedoes and missiles, and they could swarm attack big American war vessels. Like they have so many, they could send 50, 60 boats at a time with 100 drones or 50 drones all at once and overwhelm the defenses of the boat. And they probably couldn't sink one, but they could create damage. Loss of life, too. Start fires and lots of problems. So they don't like putting, heavy capital ships into the Persian Gulf, okay? But Iran can't operate in the Mediterranean. They don't have that capability. These boats don't have any range to them, and they're not going to be able to do anything about that. It's not going to work for them. So, come here, sit down and stop it. Stop pulling. So, I'm talking to the dog. So I'm holding her so she doesn't go on a bark fest again. I apologize for that. So we're seeing all this stuff happen. Now, Hamas was supposed to do a big missile attack at 6 p.m. today, which is long past. Nothing happened. Hezbollah was supposed to join in, or they wanted them to join in, and they didn't. Now, we've got an army with armor and aircraft in the sky. We're flying our jets over Lebanon now. That's what I'm talking to you, low. So they see them. So once they start their missile launching, the response time for death and destruction for the Hezbollah is going to be estimate 15 to 30 seconds. Okay, they don't have much of a chance. Okay, they're going to get it. Now, will they create damage in Israel? Yes. That's the sad news. They probably will. So the idea is to shut Lebanon off, Hezbollah, as quick as you possibly can. And that's going to mean the normal restraints that Israel uses are not going to be able to work, because they're going to be blowing up cities and killing Israeli men, women, children, and we're going to have to just hit them very, very hard and fast. And for what they did, there was a party, an outdoor party, the night of the attack in Israel. A bunch of kibbutzniks and kids, young people got together and had an outdoor party over the holiday, Simchat Torah, and which is called the last day. It's the 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles holiday. And they work on a rabbinical calendar, which is not the correct Bible calendar, but that's what the Israeli people know and what they go by. So the attack did happen on the last day of Feast of Tabernacles, which should have some prophetic significance as a message to Israel, I would say. That's also the day that Yeshua says in John 6:39, 40, 44, and 54, 4 times, he says all that the Father has given him, meaning the believers, he will raise them up at the last day. So according to Yeshua, in those 4 verses, there is no left behind rapture, but people like to believe in that, so they're going to believe in it no matter what you read to them right straight out of their Bible. That's what I find. Okay, so moving along, the Hezbollah, the latest I heard, they're going to start attacking our tanks and armor at the Lebanese border with drones. Well, they do that. Israel's got a few choices. If they hit us with drones, missiles, artillery, whatever, we can withdraw, which we're not going to do because they'll break the fence and attack Israel just the way Hamas did. We could stay there and they'll keep pounding us, and that's bad. And so the best option would be to push in with air support. And Lebanon has no ground-to-air defenses that are worth a hoot. And they have no air force that's worth it. Hezbollah has no air force that's of any meaning. They have a handful of old busted-up tanks. They don't have much of anything. That's why they're crazy. They're absolutely nuts. Okay? So, I mean, Iran's not going to come help them, especially with the fleet here. What are they? Iran's not that nuts. But Iran is not going to stop with the satellites, the Houthi rebels, the Hamas, the Hezbollah, and the others, until somebody goes in there and really gives them a double black eye in the homeland. I mean, a real devastating, nasty, ugly strike that sets them back militaristically 10 years. That they'll respond to, okay? Now, they're not interested in much else with Israel except eradicating Israel off the map, okay? But they're too cowardly to try it themselves, and they don't have the wherewithal to do it. They talk about they could attack Israel from Iran. Yeah, right, sure. They're the most advanced race in the world, you know. Their air forces consist of Captain Kirk and Darth Vader and everything else, if you listen to them, you know. They don't even have decent fighter jets. They got to get them from Russia, who doesn't have decent fighter jets to start with. So how advanced could their missiles be, you know? They're running around with 60, 70-foot go-fast boats, you know, with machine guns screwed into the deck, and, you know, they launch torpedoes off of the deck like we did in the PT boats in World War II. But World War II was quite a long time ago, what, 80 years ago? Their technology is not advanced, but they like to make you think it is, you know. So they're open for attack. They could be attacked. Israel's gone in and attacked them before, and we'll have to probably do it again. But Israel may do a preemptive strike on Hezbollah. Because if we go with America to strike Iran, or without America, then Iran will call Hezbollah to attack us. So while it looks like Israel's going into a protective mode to stop the Hezbollah attack, what it might in reality be is a preemptive attack, and Hezbollah doesn't have much of a clue as to what's going on. And the Americans may help them because we're going to need a lot of aircraft to shut their missile launchers down. So the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier would give us at least 60, 70 jets. And they might bring another 60 or 70 jets over here. They said they're bringing aircraft, and they named them, but they didn't give us quantities. Combined with Israel, Israel has 50 F-35s and a couple hundred advanced F-16s and F-15s. And, you know, you put that together, we could shut Hezbollah down really quick. Gaza's just about kaput right now. And you finish off Hezbollah, and then Iran doesn't have anything to come back at us with when we strike them. And the American military, I think, would probably be pretty interested in getting Iran knocked back into the Dark Ages. So this is generally what's going on, and we're dealing with complete insane lunatics. So if they actually do send the elderly hostages and the wounded and the sick, maybe the children, I don't know, to Egypt, where we could recover them, then we'll turn their electricity on. You see, these people are so psychotic. They get their electricity from us, and then they attack us. So what did they think we were going to do? Keep leaving their electricity on? You see how dumb they are? They're vicious and they're brutal, but they're not smart. And we're also, I think it's going to be a long day until you ever see people from Gaza come into Israel to work again. So these kids, young people, were having a party. They live near the Gaza Strip. And there was a few hundred of them having a party. And we caught, you know, we have prisoners from this Hamas Special Forces Brigade. There were 1,000 of them that came in. And we've been interrogating them, and the guy said, we knew about that party, and that's why we deployed there. And they surrounded the party and machine gunned to death 240 of these people. And they took others captive. And several dozen of them survived by hiding in a big water main, I guess you would call it, like a 6-8 foot pipe, and it was dark, and they hid in there, and they were afraid to come out. And our Israeli soldiers searching for the terrorists found them, and then, they took them out, and they, cleaned them up, gave them water, food, and, had the medics check them out and stuff. So they've gone to houses when they were in, and they were surrounding the houses, and the houses were locked, so they were burning the houses, and then when the people came out, they took them prisoner or shot them or both. And, the things they did, abusing prisoners on cameras and posting it in social media, that's the stupidest thing they can do. Who's going to side with them? What country, other than perhaps another crazy country, is going to side with them and say, we support these people? They put 3-4-year-old children, 2-year-old children in animal cages next to each other. This is like a zoo cage. Who's going to say we support them? You see how dumb they are? They're deficient. And this is what we're dealing with. Complete people, they're out of reality. They're not in reality. Not only did they have no Air Force and no Navy and no ability to fight, but they were getting their electricity from us. You gotta stop and think. What are we dealing with here? You're dealing with, people that need to be institutionalized. They're nuts. They're nuts. So now we believe that some of the workers that were coming in from Gaza were spying for this invasion. So it's going to be a long time since we let them come work here again. And no, sit. So it's going to be no. It's going to be a long time. No, stop it. Stop it. So things have, we haven't invaded Gaza yet. We made a couple of attempts, and we backed out because the casualties were going to be too high. Sit. The casualties were going to be too high. So we didn't do anything. And we're going to get in there. Stop it. No. Oh, I'm getting a dog problem. All right, look, I'm going to sign off. So that's what I got for now. I'm out.